Hello everyone, it's Therese. This is my September 2021 bullet journal plan with me video. September is my birth month, and today we are going to set up these vintage dressmaking bullet journal themed spreads together with a mix of scrapbooking style. If you're looking for this specific style to incorporate in your journals, this setup may give you inspirations, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. This journal I'm currently using is from Notebook Therapy, and my affiliate code Therese10 will save you 10% with free shipping anywhere in the world if you're interested to get yourself one. And as always, I'll provide the list of the supplies I'm using on the video description. I've been doing a lot of painting for the past months, so for September, I want to do something different like a scrapbook theme or something vintage, and I came across this vintage dressmaking photos online, and that sparked the idea of this theme. I've been loving these Instagram accounts as well, called Pages by Amy and Junie Sun Studio, where they also did a similar theme, so I wanted to create my own spin to it. For the cover page, I'm drawing a vintage oval mirror frame with a maple leaf on top, vines and ribbons around it that I started with a good pencil sketch, and then I'm using my art line drawing pen to go over it. Initially, I thought of coloring my drawings here, but I decided to just keep them black and let the scrapbooking supplies give color to the spreads, which I will show you later on. As you can see, I keep adding more strokes on the drawing itself to make it look sketchy and detailed, and instead of shading the shadowed areas, I just drew several lines to them. Then I wrote September on a serif font following the shape of the ribbon. Now I'm going to cut out the inside of the mirror using my X-Acto knife. If you don't have something like this, a typical cutter will do. And it would be better to use a cutting board that you can place underneath the page. But if you don't have one as well, you can also use the back of a sketch pad like this, as long as you don't mind getting it scratched by the cutter. It's time for the scrapbooking or collage part. First, I will be using this paper pack by Eno Greeting or ENO Greeting, which is pretty much available everywhere. This includes 24 vintage pattern papers, die-cut sheets, and more that is perfect for this theme. I've had 2 packs of these for like 6 years now, and I've never been able to make use of them a lot, so today is the perfect time because honestly, they're already collecting dust here. I chose this pink pattern paper that I divided into 2 since it's 12 by 12 inches in size, and then I glued one behind the cutout page and the other one on the other side of the spread. Then I'm drawing a dress on a mannequin from inside the mirror. I'm going to add some torn craft paper here as well. I don't usually use washi tapes in my bullet journal, but I'm also excited to use the washi tapes I received from my previous stationery hauls from Stationery Pal and Paper World, and I love the addition of them into this setup. Flipping the cutout page, I drew the same mirror frame of camera. I did the flip version of it. This will be easier to do with a tracing and graphite paper, but I don't have those, so I did it by constantly looking back and forth to the front page. You can also do a different mirror frame design, and that is absolutely fine. On the ribbon, I wrote, "Dear Self," and a quote on the inside of the frame on this small piece of white paper on top of a craft paper. The quote is, "And whatever it is that could make you genuinely happy, I hope you will reach it." I want to tie everything on these pages together with the same craft and washi tape with the same placements. And lastly, just adding a few things here with some lovely words from the paper pack, such as magnifique and beautiful. And that is it for this cover page, a vintage mirror frame that overlooks a dress and an inspirational message when flipped over. Now we can move on to the monthly calendar and goals spread. I'm simply starting with a torn craft paper on the left top corner. This is actually very common to do, and adding these on the pages just looks so good. I'm also adding a paper doily that I cut in half. With this acrylic graph pen, I'm creating this stitch line following the edges of the craft paper. I don't know why I chose this color, but I wish I used white instead. And then I postage stamp washi sticker and numbers 0 and 9 with gold foil debossing, which I really love about this paper pack. Next, I'm drawing lines for the calendar itself. I excluded the days that is outside September, but the full 7 days have 21 dot spaces horizontally, which the lines I have doubled, and 4 dot spaces vertically. The purpose of doubling these horizontal lines is to draw a stitch pattern. I realized these spaces were too thin and I used a thicker nib size, so the pattern here looked kinda messy and uneven, but in the end I like how messy it looked. I also like how this calendar is only one page but still have enough space I need, as I'll have a lot going on this month, and it's mostly birthdays. My mother, my sister, my baby boy, and I are September borns. My father and husband, on the other hand, are born in February, which I find so cool. Anyway, on top of the calendar, I drew some sewing tools like the embroidery scissors, tape measure, and thimble. Now it's finally time to use these alphabets from the paper pack. These are so beautiful. Again, my favorite on this paper pack, and they are perfect for the titles, starting with my goals section. I used this pale cherry Tombow brush pen for the background color of the letters. Then I just drew some lines where I will write those monthly goals. Below that, I am drawing a sewing machine with botanical details on it. Whenever I see sewing machines, it always reminds me of my late grandma. She loved to sew, and I never had the chance to learn how to use it, but I would love to in the future. The final touches to this spread is a piece of craft paper again on the bottom of the page and some washi tapes that is also from Stationery Pal. This one that has a stitch pattern to it is perfect to add in here. Using my knife again, I'm going to cut the page as well so it becomes a touch door now. I did a similar spread with my May 2021 setup, and then I'm going to put on this area here a grid pattern craft washi tape. So the other side of the page is going to be my content planner. I just shortened the title into contents, and since I'm most active on YouTube and Instagram, those are what's going to be listed here. I'm following almost the same layout from my August content planner here, where I only divided YouTube into 4 weeks, as I'm aiming to create one video content per week, and full dates on Instagram on the other hand, because I post every other day, or if not every day, on my BuJo account, and that's where you can see my spreads up close, sometimes how I feel it, and other spreads I'm not able to share the process of making here on YouTube. On the section below is a small socials tracker to track my subscriber and follower count from the start and end of the month. If you're not using a content planner, you can also create a to-do list, monthly planning, or prompts like gratitude and so on for this page. Then I did some more drawings of sewing tools here and washi tapes, and that is it for my monthly calendar, goals, and content pages. It's time to move on to the next, which are tracker spreads. On the left side is my habit tracker. I'm sticking the same grid craft paper washi tape just behind the one from the previous page, and then I'm adding the other half of the paper doily on top of it and layer it again with this handmade paper, the same washi tape with handwriting design, and this round cut out from the paper pack, which I think is meant to go with tags because it has a hole in it. Then I'm arranging the letters of the word habits above the page. On the handmade paper, I am drawing a dress form with line shading on the left half of it. After that, I'm making individual calendars for each habit. I'm using the same Tombow brush pen for the background of each habit, and I'm also excited to try the calendar stamps from a recent stationery haul. I have said this in my previous setups that habit trackers take most of my time when setting up because of writing too many numbers. So I'm really looking forward to use these stamps because it would save me so much time for that. Otherwise, I'll just leave the numbers and create a box instead. So I'm a newbie with these stamps and it doesn't look bad at all. I don't have an ink pad just yet, so I used a brush pen, which is a nice hack if you don't have one. Moving on to the next page is my mood tracker. I'm using the same washi tape for the background on top of the brush pen color. I've seen many using this particular design. It's so simple and vintagey, and it actually looks really good on the pages. And I think it goes with anything you would like to do. Now I'm tracking my moods with sewing tools as well. I drew 5 thread spools, straight and safety pins, and different shapes of buttons. I'll color my moods using these Monami Plus pens, so this will be the only page where I will use most coloring pens with. And the last piece here is just a craft paper on the bottom, and we're done with my habit and mood trackers. The following page will be for my package tracker and shopping lists. I'm using 2 craft papers here with torn edges as well for that soft look, and I'm pasting the letters on opposite sides. I had to divide the letters into 2 because they won't fit in one line. And then I drew a stitch pattern on the edges of the craft papers that I was not really happy with how it turned out because the pattern looked quite big and uneven here. But after that, I just wrote categories for both, such as the list of the items, from where the package is coming from, and whether it is shipped or received. and groceries and things I'm still deciding to buy for the shopping list section. On the other side of the spread is my September playlist. This time the title will be on the middle of the page. Let me know in the comments if you also like to create playlist pages on your bullet journals, and if you have any song recommendations, just leave it in the comments as well so I can listen to them and maybe add them later on my list. So here I did 6 boxes with play buttons, and lastly, some washi tapes here and there. Now let's flip through the next and final spread I'll be making in this video, which is my first weekly spread. I drew 6 boxes for the dailies, but I combined the weekends here, and the dimensions is 9 by 14 dot spaces, if I remember correctly. And then I'm using this very thin washi tape to give the boxes a little decoration, and I wrote all the days and dates above them. I'm adding another grid craft washi tape on the left side and the handwriting washi tape on the 2 corners of this spread. I also decided to add these 3 round cutouts on top of the grid because they kind of look like buttons for me. And then I pasted W36 or week 36 just beside them, a mini calendar, and a small space for notes above the boxes. The paper pack includes gorgeous tags, and I really wanted to include them in this setup, so instead of pasting it, I'm attaching a twine on it, just how a tag or bookmark would look like. And then I'm adding these washi tapes that will hold the twine so the tag itself can freely move like this. And then behind this tag is for myself to write some secret or important things during the week. I can't get over how awesome this look. I'm so happy with this idea, and if you're curious what my next weeklies would look like, definitely check out my bullet journal Instagram. You will find lots of inspirations there. And the last thing I did here is another dress form drawing on the tag, and that is it for my first weekly spread. And here is the final flip through of my September 2021 bullet journal setup. It's so nice to be able to finally try this scrapbooking or collage style on my journal and make use of the vintage papers and washi tapes that are lying around on my desk. I hope you enjoyed this plan with me video. If it's your first time here and would like to see more of my bullet journal videos, please consider subscribing to the channel to keep you updated whenever I upload a new one. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!